Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to Remember 11, Age of Infinity, near the end here. The true end, hopefully. Anyway, present time, 6:48 AM. 5 minutes until the avalanche. Yomogi-san, Mitsumi-san, Hattori, Yuni. Even though I knew it was futile, I couldn't help but shout. No answer. Only the sound of the raging wind like the screams of a god of death answered me. I too, after walking this far, was beginning to feel my consciousness slip away. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black shadow flicker. Maybe it was just an illusion of the Grim Reaper. I took one step forward, then another, but it wasn't only myself I had to move. Kokoro's body was like a leaden weight on my back. The cold ate into my lungs. The blizzard's assault never once let up. My frozen limbs began to cramp up and spasm. I felt like my freezing sinews were beginning to crack. Sharp pain ran through my whole body. But I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't give up, not a chance. I walked and walked and walked. I plunged forward through the blizzard. I shook off the illusion of death, and I walked. With the compass still clutched tightly in my right hand and my wristwatch in my left. The present time, according to the watch, was 6:50 AM. Damn it. Yomogi-san, Mitsumi-san, Hattori, Yuni, anyone. Please someone answer me. And right then, hey, over here. An auditory hallucination? I concentrated and peered through the whirling snow. For a single instant, my field of vision was clear. Halfway up a steep slope stood Yomogi. No, not just Yomogi. Mitsumi and Hattori were there with them. Yuni was the only one missing. Oh well. At any rate, I better hurry. Yomogi-san. I put Kokoro down and ran so quickly through the snow that I thought I'd take off. I rushed over to them. Yukido-kun? Satoru? Who are you? We had no time for chit-chat. I caught a glimpse of my watch display. 6:52 AM. This is bad. Quickly, this way. Huh? What's wrong? Just follow me. We're out of time. But he's injured. Huh? I look over in the same direction as Itsumi and saw Yomogi clutching at one of his legs. Why? God damn it, you gotta be kidding me. Didn't you call yourself a pro mountaineer? That tone. It can't be. Give it a rest. No more talking, just shut up. And at the very next moment, suddenly the earth roared. A grave echo surged up from the core of the earth. At the same time, my field of vision began to vibrate. An earthquake? I see, the avalanche was caused by an earthquake. Now that I thought about it, Kokoro once wrote that an earthquake occurred at SPHIA in one of her messages. Perhaps the Mount Akakura area was experiencing a succession of them. But enough about that. I have to get them out of here before... Present time, 6:53 AM. I looked up at the mountain ridge, at the gathering billow of white. Swallowing up the slope like a muddy stream, it came rushing toward us at frightening speed. The avalanche, it's coming! Hurry up and run! I threw Yomogi over my shoulder. An avalanche? Huh? No way. Don't just stand there. Run! He yelled at them in the sternest voice I could manage. Mitsumi and Hattori took off running. I followed after them. What about Kokoro? You can't carry Yomogi and Kokoro. Isn't Yomogi meant to be large as well? I ran and ran and ran. The billowing white approached us, advancing on us as unstoppably as a wave, a gigantic white monster, mowing down every tree in its path, turning every rock it encountered to dust. Its approach was unforgiving. The monster bared its fangs, and then it struck. Right over our heads. Now it... Oh shit. Cutscene. There was nothing reflected in my eyes. A world closed off in darkness, a silence as cold as ice. There was nothing here. A space ruled only by nothingness spread before me. No, it probably couldn't even be called space. My existence had become infinitely close to zero. As the pressure of my surrounding pushed down on me, that point began to shift and change. At that moment, having been reduced to the 0th dimension, the line between heaven and earth smeared. A darkness with no exit, inescapable ice. I could only feel constricting pressure all around me. I was powerless to struggle, or even more, my limbs. Not only could I not cry out, but I couldn't even breathe. My mouth was sealed shut, my lungs crushed, and what felt like a fist was pressing down on my Adam's apple. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Every cell in my body was grasping for oxygen. It felt like a boiling hot liquid was slowly rising up my body. My consciousness was fading. I couldn't think. Only one thought floated into my head somehow. Death. A premonition of death. Soon my entire existence became zero. But we can't die again. I've got no other way to get to the actual end this time. Or not? Whew, I thought I was gonna die. I shook my head and looked up to see Kokoro's face right in front of mine. Are you okay? She looked me over anxiously. Her hands were covered in snow. It seems that she was the one who saved me. Yeah, I'm fine, I think. Thanks. After I thanked her, I took in my surroundings. I couldn't see my own body. Only my head and neck stuck up through the snow, as though my severed head had been put on display. Just wait a little longer, okay? I'll dig you out of there. Sorry, please do. Kokoro dug her way through the snow. My shoulders were revealed, then my chest, until I was finally able to move my arms. It was a piece of cake after that. With my arms free, I could crawl out of the snow by myself. The weather in the mountains can change easily. The sky had cleared up before I knew it. Looking down the steep slope, it appeared as if the corpse of the monstrous avalanche had been spread out in the shape of a fan. Huge masses of snow had fallen and scattered apart. So I was swallowed up by the avalanche, huh? Well, it sure didn't look like you were building a snow fort. How'd you know I was buried here? That's obvious, isn't it? Obvious? It's because we're united in body and soul, right? Kokoro giggled as she said that. The light of the morning sun illuminated her face. Illuminating her face really brought out her feminine charm. Without thinking, I turned around and gathered her up in an embrace. Until just recently, her body was my body, but right now it wasn't mine at all. Another person's body, so to speak. The fact that it was another person's body made me extremely happy. Being able to hold her like this was like a dream. A dream? The first time I fell into her, I thought it was a dream as well. But now, I thought it was far more like a happy dream to be separate like this. Fact and fiction, it was difficult to tell what the difference was between them. But I was sure of one thing. The warmth permeating my chest, our heartbeats and our breathing, the sound of those two reverberations overlapping with each other. That was the only thing that mattered now. Hey Satoru? There's one thing that's been bothering me. Mind if I ask? What is it? This is what you wrote in your message, isn't it? Sekiju Kansei, right? Just what does that mean? And moreover, Kokoro and I have a connection that can't be severed even if someone tried to cut it. I just noticed it now, but it seems that I, without you, am just me. Either way, the fact that I'm me doesn't change, but even so, when you're there, I feel like I can be more like myself. There's a 4-character Chinese aphorism that goes like that. Do you know it? Sekiju Kansei. Red accepts blue entirely, is what it means. Maybe I've been trapped by that phenomenon myself. Of course, it's because you're here that this phenomenon came into existence in the first place. You don't understand? Nope, I don't. Then please go on without ever understanding. I told you before I let go. Wait a second. Tell me, I'm curious. Kokoro chased after me, lifting the hem of her skirt off the ground as she did. Hey, Satoru! Satoru! And moreover, in the first place, Satoru, enlightenment, and Kokoro, mind, have an unbreakable connection to each. I just noticed this, but it seems that the character, Satoru, without Kokoro, just becomes I. Originally, the fact that I was me didn't change either way. But even then, with Kokoro there, I becomes more like Satoru. Sekiju Kansei. Maybe I've been trapped in by that phenomenon myself. Of course, it was because Kokoro was there that this phenomenon came into existence in the first place, though. Dear, hang on, dear. Mitsubi's voice suddenly reached my ears. After I climbed a little way up the hill, I could see her too. She was supporting the snow-covered Yomogi, shaking him back into consciousness periodically. Darling, you okay? Yeah, somehow. I appear to be nigh invulnerable. Maybe I'm actually an interstellar traveller of some sort, you know? Being Yomogi Seiji, it's only natural to be capable of resurrection. Oh, you idiot. Cutting him off mid-joke, Mitsumi flung herself into his arms. Yomogi caught her in a strong embrace and held her close. He buried his nose in her hair. Mitsumi cried without holding back. She cried and cried, her sobs echoing as far as the distant mountain range. The sun rose over the ridges of the eastern mountains. Its rays shone down, casting a flickering shadow of gold over every snowy surface it touched. I looked far off in the distance and noticed the way the peaks of the mountains in the range lay, as if piled on top of one another. I surveyed the grandeur of the snow-covered mountain scenery before us. At the base of the mountain was a wide field that still remained a verdant green, with a clear brook running through it. Until just now, there'd been nothing but darkness. But as the sun rose, the black shadow of the mountain range retreated, as though chased away. Now the field had turned to gold as well. Overwhelmed by the natural beauty of it, I stood there fascinated for so long that I forgot the passage of time entirely. It was magical, like a scene some god had painted just for us. Hey, how's life up here? By here you mean here in heaven? Their conversation snapped me out of my reverie. I pricked up my ears, trying to pick up what they were saying. What do you mean by heaven? You say that as though I died. Yes, that's right, isn't it? You're alive? Just what happened anyway? Then where are we? On Mount Akakura. Mount Akakura, you mean? Yeah, that's right. Moreover though, how did you get here? And furthermore, with her? By her, you mean Hattori-chan? Hattori? I followed the direction of their gaze, and sure enough, there was Hattori. She dropped to her knees in the snow. Kokoro was by her side, saying something to her. Hattori-chan? Hattori-chan, you okay? Hey, you feeling okay? Hattori's eyes were blank. Her mouth hung wide open as though her mind had deserted her. Maybe the shock of the avalanche just before had rendered her unable to stand. She was at least able to give a tentative nod of her head, and then to shake it, in answer to Kokoro's question. It seemed like there was nothing to worry about there. More importantly, Yomogi, Utsumi, Hattori, Kokoro, and myself. There were only 5 of us here. Where'd the remaining person go? Curious, I approached Yomogi and Utsumi, and then, before I called out to them, Yomogi spoke. Wow, you really saved me there. Thanks to you, I managed to escape with my life. Thanks a lot. Now, if you're going to thank anyone, it should be Utsumi-san. She's the one who dug you out from under the snow. But you were the one who saved her in the first place. After directing a glance to Utsumi, Yomogi went on, if you'd gotten here even a moment later than you did, we'd all probably be sleeping the big sleep under all that snow right now. You have my deepest thanks. I looked away from Yomogi and scratched at my nose. Ah, that's right. There's something I wanted to ask you. I turned to Utsumi as I did. It's about Uni. Where is he right now? If it's Uni-kun you're asking about, Utsumi turned and looked at the very top of the slope. There was a small silhouette near the ridge. It was heading this way, waving its hand furiously. Hey everyone, you alright? I'm coming to you right now, so wait there, okay? I couldn't do Utsumi. This is what happened before the avalanche. Utsumi, Hattori, and Uni left through the front gate of SPHIA. All 3 of them were then suddenly thrown into the extreme cold of Mount Akakura, where they lost their way. SPHIA had abruptly disappeared. Attempting to chase after the shadow of it, the 3 of them had begun wandering in the snowstorm. Eventually, after heading east for a while, a man's voice reached their ears. It was Yomogi's voice. That was how they had their chance meeting. Miraculously enough, they had met close to the point where the avalanche would occur, Location X. More specifically, they met slightly above Location X at the top of a steep hill. Of course, Yomogi tried to lead the 3 of them to the shelter cabin. However, at the very next moment, Utsumi and Hattori disappeared from Yomogi's sight. The 2 of them had stepped into a cornice of snow overhanging the ledge, which had collapsed under their weight, sending them tumbling down the slope. Yomogi tried to save them, but slipped and fell down the slope himself. This is how he injured his foot. A rock jutting out of the snow had gouged him pretty hard in the calf. Soon after, they finally came to a stop. They were on top of the wide shelf of rock, just about the exact coordinates of Location X. And that's where I came in. I don't think I need to repeat what happened next, and that's why Uni was the only one not caught in the avalanche. A lot of that which we call history resides in darkness, never touched by the light. The amount of history that humans can know is limited. No one could have imagined the sequence of events like this just from reading an article in a newspaper or a magazine. History was... Now that you mention it, after all this, just what kind of history will be written in the stream of time? There's no way they'll be able to find any decomposing bodies in July. Then on January 17th, in other words, today, what will history be like when the rescue team only discovers Uni? The course it will take depends on our actions right now in the present. I still hadn't decided anything. Even I didn't know what I was supposed to do. My worries and annoyances have increased even more. However, under this morning sunrise, the golden scenery, the magnificent view over the mountains, before their mysterious beauty, all my worries were blown away without a trace. At any rate, I managed to save them. History had already been changed. I'm thinking about the future later. Right now, it'd be fine just to let the sensation of everything coming to a close wash over me. So I thought. Suddenly I felt someone tap me on the shoulder. I turned around to see Yomogi. Hey, can I ask you something? Just... Who are you? The fresh breeze of a midwinter wind. I inhaled the crisp air with all my might and shouted it out. My name is Yukido Satoru. I see. So is that the true ending? Because I feel like there's a lot of unresolved questions here. Perhaps I need to go back and open the door, but I feel like that's going to end with the same ending we got with the last bad ending. I'm not sure, but I would like to go back and give it a go. Because or unless there's like a post-credit thing that's going to answer the questions, because we still don't know what the whole plan was. Like what the whole point of it was. You know? Yeah, we saved everyone, that's nice and all, but what was causing I mean, we know some things, right? We know there was a device that was causing the transfer, and we know there was a Yukido Satoru in control of that, and the Inamoto guy, but why and what was their purpose? Why they kill me? Well, I'm gonna leave this here, let the credits roll. We'll see if there's a post-credit scene, and we'll do that. If there is, if there isn't, we'll jump back, change our response when we get the option to open that door. We'll open the door, see what happens. If it's the same as last time, I'll just skip it. Otherwise, we'll go through it. Hopefully it'll answer some questions. I don't know. We'll get there. Anyway, I'll be back. 終わって始まる